Jericho, as I said, two unlikely people to score many points here early in the game. But in this conference tournament, the stars shine.
A 14-2 run. Darling back to work on offense. Gets it deep in the paint. Goes up against Mullins. A hand to the face. He hits his first field.
Polo has not scored yet. The second leading rebounder. In fact, he doesn't have a stat. He doesn't have a score or a rebound.
There's Darling again, and a 14-7 game against the Bengals.
Boy, they play well off each other, off a dribble penetration with Zephyr driving, and Ogbach Polo drifted to that corner.
That percent of the line misses. It's a +1 exchange after the technical and the bucket. In favor of Montana State, they're up by 16. Green will back it out. Now here comes Darling. Downhill, fouled, and got it. He has 10.
But the first two have come just recently, the last part of February against Sac State, Portland State. Boy, he's playing like he thinks he should be on the all-conference team this year. Boy, he's putting on a show here in the first half.
Well, there's an all-tournament team.
There you
always
go.
Find your way there. Darling to the free throw line, guarded by Miller. A fadeaway with the hand in his face and hits. Darling.
Times the first time these two teams played. You know the Bengals want to see him penetrate and create those opportunities.
A new 20. It's a 6-2 Northern Arizona lead. Bengals slow to start shooting here. Here is Darling. Jackson on it. Little head and shoulder fake. Step back. Three. Bang. Piece. 14 minutes left here in the first half. Got a good one going. As Dylan Darling gets a high screen from Hollenbeck. Now crosses over against Dylan Baker. Keeps control of the basketball. Wide. Right side. Driving. Paint. Hollenbeck. Out on top again off the left side of the dome. Here is Darling left alone, and it's another. His three-ball straightaway is good. And Dylan Baker's got 5 early points. And Baker is a guy that shoots just 35% from the floor, but that's his 17th three-pointer on the season, and he's really come on of late. Bigger role. Darling thought about it. Here's O'Neal. Back to Darling. He's got Taut on it. Gets him in the air. Drive. Finger roll. Good. Dylan Darling. 6 may all return. We won't know for a while. Shot left short. Good defense out there as A.J. Bergen corrals the rebound. Gets it ahead to Darling. Darling takes it right at Trent McLaughlin. Never miss.
Abelman with another 3, and Northern Arizona is just unbelievably hot here in the first half.
Here is Darling left alone. They challenge him. He takes the 3 and answers. Dylan Darling.
A terrible job of defending the paint here in this first half.
I mean, McLaughlin's got 10. Taut's got 15. That's 25 of the 39. There's Dylan Darling. He'll drive to the bucket.
Out here tonight in Reed Gym for senior night.
Let's give you a quick update on a couple scores. 19 minutes. They just got started second half in Bozeman. 43-33 Montana State. And there is the same exact.
Him in transition. You can't let him run into those three-pointers.
He's #1 in the Big Sky Conference there. That is his 91st made three-pointer on the season.
Second in the nation in scoring, in case you're just joining us.
47-46. Northern Arizona on top, but not for long. Dylan Darling. O'Neal on the other end. Drives down. Gives it off on the baseline. Here's A.J. Bergen for a 3. That's long, not good. Daberco with a rebound. Dylan Darling will reset it here. Bengals 15 to shoot. Clock ticks down. And drives inside. Shot good. He's fouled. He'll go. As he tests it out around the arc, the restricted area. Inbounds comes to Hollenbeck. Hands it back off to Darling. Dylan Darling drives inside. Lay it up and in. Going down is Connor Hollenbeck. Three-pointer missed. And Hollenbeck rolled an ankle, and that doesn't look good. He's slow to get back. Here is Darling. Now go to Jake O'Neal. Jake fires it back to Dylan Darling. I think Connor's shaking it off here. Darling with a head fake, gets inside, lays it up, and Darling with the basketball. Wouldn't you love to know what goes on in his mind as he's on the floor?
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Who can I beat this time?
Yeah.
This guy has got 30 points tonight. Step back to tie his career high, and he got it.
This again. So here's Dylan Darling, the number 3 scorer in the Big Sky Conference for Idaho State, 19 points a game. He's been the player of the week 3 of the last 4 weeks in the Big Sky.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal scorer, phenomenal athlete.
And he drills it right in Mason while Thomas has it. And Eastern continuing to push with speed, but taken by Dylan Darling. The Spokane native to the rack, finishes. Dylan Griffin on Stockton. Good step back. Couldn't get it. Another offensive rebound. They're so good at this. As Darling gets all the way to the rim. So the double digits before Eastern had hardly gotten on the board. Same starting lineup out there for Idaho State, because why mess with the Brook with a great thing?
And again, they go right to Dylan Darling. Come out with the backdoor in front. Didn't really change anything.
I love college hoops. Dylan Darling hits it and silences that loud fan.
Put a little run together and get a couple stops.
Darling's got 11 on 5-4-11 shooting. 13 and a chance for 14. A spin move.
Yeah, good take by Winkle. He's pretty tough down there when he's one-on-one in the post. Missed the first one. It was a quick bunny, but able to knock that one in.
Back to a 10-point game. Eastern has a higher shooting percentage than Idaho State, despite being down 10 points. It's been turnovers and offensive rebounding that have bitten these Eagles. Dylan Darling, their best player, proves it. What a move.
Yeah, just shot-making ability. He's just an asset on the court.
I think they're going to be happy to have him back next year. Seems like a prime guy to return and have a good year here.
Yeah, he had a bad injury, after the first couple weeks of the season, and kind of struggled getting healthy, but he's been good the last couple weeks.
And the Bengals now with 6 minutes, beginning to start running clock down on these possessions. Darling through the zone, got it, and steals. Nick's had a good one today. Yeah. Maybe not that good.
I mean, he has 4 points. He was leading scorer for a while for Eastern. Kind of struggled scoring the ball the last, I'd say, 10 games, but Eastern Washington's going to need him.
Whoa! I just want to watch him dribble. The silencer all the way to the rim.
You're walking into Big Sky Conference tournament play here in a few days.
It's like Kenny Chesney song, Don't Blink. Meantime, Jake O'Neal blocked underneath. Now here's Darling for 3, yes, and Dylan Darling.
And just staying tight, staying close to Colton Mitchell, forcing him into a tough one, and now Idaho State gets a chance for the last shot here in the half.
Essentially no difference between shot clock and game clock. And now inside 10 seconds. Darling working against Mitchell. Drives the lane, the left hand, yes, sneaks it in. Dylan Darling getting the layup.
He just shows you the patience that he has. He's so good. If it's one-on-one, he has the opportunity to score on anyone when it's one-on-one, especially right in the middle of the paint. Not much help side can come.
Oh, beautiful drive by Darling and the conversion.
I mean, March is the best time for basketball, not just college, Also, with these local state high school games, they're just so much fun and so much entertainment.
Speaking of entertainment, it's been a good one here. Off the miss by Mitchell. At the other end, it's Darling converting. And Idaho back on top by 3. Oh, potential there for a walk by Bergen. Able to somehow keep that pivot foot in one spot. Now Darling to a streaking O'Neal. Cut off at the baseline by Maruss. This Darling-Mitchell matchup has just been excellent. From the elbow, Darling, the little teardrop, yes. Trey of the game, he has 8. The Vandal lead is 4.
And the threes just continue to rain for the Vandals. 12th of the game. The unselfishness of sharing the ball is on display here in the second half for the Vandals.
ICC Arena coming alive. Darling silences the crowd, though, with 4 threes in the opening half. And now approaching 4 minutes to go here in Moscow. Darling off the pick. Two ball, yes. So Dylan Darling,
So it's a quick 3-0 lead. That was a very patient possession.
Yeah, but Sac State made 15 threes down at Weber State on Thursday night. So, you know, they're playing with some confidence, shooting with some confidence from three-point range right now.
Dylan Darling came out of his shoe on the far side over there as he was trying to make a cut. He's got it back on now. Ball comes to the near side corner, down to 7 to shoot. They're going to bring it out, and Dylan Darling will get the catch. Fall away baseline jumper is good. Well, one to the head, gets it to Scuda, kick it back. Now Scuda left alone in the corner for 3. That won't drop, and the rebound comes to Isaiah Griffin. Now Darling for the lead. The 3 ball is good, and Dylan Darling. And Ricketts, he has only played in 11 games. He's 8 of 29 from 3, now making 9 of 30. Here is a drive, and Dylan Darling is off to X in to give Evan Otten a break. We've seen that early substitution a little bit more lately.
Yeah. Ryan Looney with a little more confidence in Blake Dabrico right now.
Here's Darling on top. Ricketts on him. They try to get a little pick and roll. Drop back, and another three-pointer good. And the first.
His career at the University of Idaho. He's out of San Francisco originally.
It'll be Bengals on top with Hollenbeck. Give it over now to Dylan Darling, trying to come off a high screen. There's a hard hedge out on top. Feed it back to Dabrico. He wants to come out and now do a screen for Hollenbeck. Give it back, and here is another 3 ball, and that one's good. Here's Diorama leading in over Dabrico. And that
Blake out there with those 2 fouls. He can't really challenge.
Step back, 3, Darling, good. Unless it was touched when Connor Hollenbeck tried to make that pass. Either way, Chudy Diorama checks in for the Hornets. As Dylan Darling and the Bengals work offensively. Darling gets free, pull-up jumper, rattles home. That's 18 for
the charge, player control foul. So, Bengals have the basketball and a 1-point lead. Here's Connor Hollenbeck. Stop up on top of the circle. Wide right now, Jake O'Neal. Jake trying to hand it back and does to Darling. Darling looking for a high screen from Dabrico. Finds it, gets inside, high off the glass and rolls it in. And Dylan Darling, man, much Dylan Darling could do.
And just like that, 7-point game.
It was 16 at one point. Here's Darling. Shot's going to be good. He threw the crossover, left hand, down to the left block. Brings it out. Jalen Henderson's 3 ball misses. Rebound to Bergen.
I really hesitate to say this, but Henderson has been very quiet tonight.
Here is Isaiah Griffin on the baseline. Needs some help. Lobs it out, and it's going to be saved by A.J. Bergen.
Boy, barely.
That was some good defense by Jalen Henderson and Farrell over here, creating real problems for that pass. Here is Dylan Darling. He gets to the bucket, high off the glass. It's good. He's fouled.
Is 7 of 16 tonight. He's put up a lot of shots.
Here is Isaiah Griffin for Idaho State. Trying to back down. Keont Myers. A little up fade. Bring it back out to Darling. 8 to shoot for Idaho State. Dabrico sets a good screen. Darling pulls up from the left elbow and drains it. And he's in double figure. Need to be put on the back burner because they're pretty good here tonight.
They are 7 of 9. And Miller, they take him out on defense with those 4 fouls.
So the Idaho State Bengals lead at 69-62 over the Vikings of Portland State. Next to last week of Big Sky Conference play. Here is Darling working out on top. Stops. Right elbow jumper. Boy, what a beautiful.
By the Bobcats. Agbankpolo steps into a 3. No good. Tough shot. About a step farther than I think you want him to be coming down on that run.
Yeah, I'd like to see Agbankpolo get into the hoop more in transition there, taking the quick 3. He's so good at getting to the hoop. I'd like to see him try that move a little more.
Nice spin move up.
Shot clock violation.
Bad pass there by Walker. Tried to skip it over. Stolen by Darling. Coast to coast. Off the glass and in.
Back and forth on the baseline right there until he gets the right angle he wants. Great patience by him to get that bucket and get the Cats going.
6-point lead. Both teams With the bucket early, Darling wide open, and he drills it. Just 3 of 5. Darling trying to probe inside. Nice move. The left hand is back out. Stays a 4-point game.
Got to play good one-on-one defense here. Fight through screens. Darling's going to want to attack.
Darling, long three is up and good. Idaho State can take the lead with a 2. Or a 2-point lead with a 3, and they do. 59 Bobcats with a 1-point lead. Just over 4 minutes to go.
There we go. I like this play through O'Neal. He's made big plays for you. Good find.
3-pointer on the corner is good. You can't react to what they're doing. If they're complaining about fouls or whatever it might be, you can't react to that and get caught in it. Darling inside, fights through contact.
Second in the league, 15 assists per game. It's Joe Pridgeon leading the break. Couldn't get the finish. And Idaho State dodges a bullet. They come back the other way with Darling. And a contested 2. It doesn't
block there. Waited for the right opportunity. Couple moves and a nice lay-in there to get Montana up on the scoreboard.
Over on the left wing, it is Hollenbeck. He's a transfer from Minot State out of the NAIA ranks. Had 15 points and a season-high 7 rebounds in Pocatello when these two squared off 26 days ago. And the acrobatic move of Darling. The drop-off from Malik Moore. And like clockwork, Pridgeon electrified here at home.
So pretty to move with the basketball just to get himself in the right position. Speaking of moving, Dylan, the paint, yet to shoot a three-pointer. And they're the hottest shooting three-point team in the league the last few weeks, and a clear effort to get inside to the glass.
It's amazing, the adjustments, right? And it's fitting. We talked about the coaches coming back from break. The adjustments game 1 to game 2, where you think you can expect one thing, it might be totally different as Dylan Darling steps back, and he is on fire early. The 2 goes inside the arc this time, takes a hard fall, but he remains perfect as the bucket falls in.
Certainly letting these two teams play physically, as Money Williams took a heck of a shot there, and as he
pushes the pace, and Whitney has his first points of the night.
And I don't know how he was able to avoid the shot block attempt by Evan Otten there, but he was there, and Idaho State having to manufacture some points now.
Team's third leading scorer, and Dylan Darling gets in the passing lane, goes coast to coast for a point. Crazy swing here where the Bengals get 2 points and the ball, and a chance to make this a single-digit game.
You can see Travis DeCure getting this fan base into it, wanting a stop from his defense.
And instead, it's Dylan inside of 10 minutes to go in this marathon second half that's featured plenty of whistles, stoppages of plays, but one thing that hasn't changed is the intensity of this game between two physical groups. You can tell Montana wants revenge. Idaho State wants to make history and have a sweep, and behind Dylan Darling.
On the three, shooting 32.7% from the outside. Weber State as a team with three-point shooting, 36.
Couple games where they got very few of the 50-50 balls. They're playing with quite a level of energy, I think, early in this game.
Inside, and another more and more aggressive from the outside over the past few games.
We had 17 last time over there, which is a little bit pedestrian for him. He's averaging 18.4 for the year and over 20 in conference play.
For the Bengals, Darling, the long two is
kind of got it going. Weber State really extending their defense here. That 1-3-1 that Coach Duff likes to play. That's the first time I've seen him extend it to almost a full court type situation.
Darling hits
on the weak side.
3 Roadrunners to the rim, and it's 23-16.
Tony, that is where he is the best, going full court like that. Much more effective. To get a much better shooter and a better shot to Henning. Nice freshman to freshman pass there, and that was a huge three-point shot, cutting the lead from 7 to 4.
Hennig hit his first 4 shots in his start on Mondays. 3 for 4 to start today, has 9 points. Hollenbeck flips it back out to Dylan Darling. Darling with 5, takes it right at Blaze 3, gets space and converts. And the rebound comes down to Cutler. Hennig across the court, hits picked off. Dylan Darling, the son of a football player.
And one of the things the Wildcats have suffered from, I think, all year is making big plays at key moments, and that was a big play in a very key moment.
Darling has 19, launches and hits a 3.
Done a great job guarding Darling.
Griffin against Hennig, beats the shot clock buzzer, misfires another offensive rebound for Idaho State. That's their 12th.
Boy, and they Wildcats have just had really bad luck on that. The Bengals have gotten about
block. Tried to drive, now goes 16 feet straight away. Langston Rose stripped away by Dylan Darling. Darling pushes up the middle of the floor, doesn't get stopped, finger roll, good!
Bengals there to get that ball to fall in.
He's got all 4 Northern Colorado points off second chance opportunity from the floor, and only one of those baskets was a three-pointer.
He's just so good at driving right to the basket.
So's Dylan Darling on the other end. He answered 11. So the reports of the demise of the Wildcats are a tad premature, it would appear, so far tonight. They have come out, apparently at home, playing very well. So Bengals have the ball down by 3 now at 19-16. They trailed by 2 right out of the gate. So Northern Colorado with their biggest advantage of the game. Bengals shooting has cooled off from a hot start. And getting inside, that's Dylan Darling. He's
Northern Colorado.
A.J. Bergen's going to check in right here for this final 3.6. They get it in, nice screen. Dylan Darling goes to the bucket, shot, good if it goes. And shot, Jaron Reilly. He just finds a way to get his shot off.
Bengals can't find the net, and the Bears can't find nothing but the net.
That's about right. Here's Green to Darling. Darling gets to the glass, puts it up, and scores it on a low with Mims. Lob it and let him lay it in.
Yeah, and you can see that he's an athletic kid, so being able to get up and go right to the basket is something that he's going to try to do every time.
Jake O'Neal, they whip it out on top, go back to the angle right. Here is Connor Hollenbeck trying to attack, bring it back out, 10 to shoot. It's going to be Gonzalez on Darling, and Dylan Darling's fadeaway jump shot good. Mims, Mitchell, that 3-ball was tipped and blocked partially by Isaiah Griffin. Up the floor, they go to Isaiah. He's got the smaller Mitchell on him. Got to be smart here. Bengals will reset. Here's Darling, 3-ball, bang! Dylan Darling here this afternoon, but they still trail Idaho State 49-43. As Idaho State has the ball with Jackson Green. Give and go, wide open, lay it up. 2 3-pointers. Last year in the loss at Moscow, of the last 12 points the Vandals put up, Gonzalez scored 7 of them.
Wow. So when he gets hot, he can get hot.
He really can get going. Here's Jackson Green, drive to the baseline, bring it back out. 13 to shoot. Dylan Darling from downtown. So on the day now, he's got 13. Darling front court. Idaho State with a 6-point lead. Here's Dabrico, I should say, between the rings at about 22 feet. Comes over here to the right wing. Darling thought about a 3. Now gets a screen from Gonzalez. Mims jumps out on a hedge, but Dylan able to keep control of the basketball. 9 to shoot. Isaiah Griffin handles on the left side. Back out to Darling. Gets a screen. Here is another 3-ball, and it's good. And Jake O'Neal with 3 personal fouls. And Idaho State shooting the ball well in this second half. 69%. They're 9 of 13 from the floor and 5 of 6 from the arc. And here is another 3-point try, and it's good.
He's all over the court today.
He really is. He has been huge for Idaho State off the bench. Bench points 22-16 now. If I'm reading that. Oh, no, I'm reading that wrong. I'll check it in a second. Bengals had a huge edge in bench points, and they still do. It was 18-9 on that last timeout. Dylan Darling says, hey, it's on the day, and he's got 15 points. An 18-point Idaho State lead, 79-61. Looked into the paint, nothing there. Swing it over. Jackson Green wide left. 4:40 left. 12 to shoot for Idaho State. Dylan Darling. Jake O'Neal wants to drive, now kicks it off. Dylan Darling, step back, deep 3! Are you to the lines? The baseline and the free throw line, those are your weak spots. And here is a 3-pointer put up and missed by Vince Zonke. And on the other end, it's Dylan Darling with the finger roll, scoop and score, and up, and he'll hit the 18-footer off the angle left.
Bengals didn't find Zonke in transition. They just let him stand out there by himself.
Zonke out of Zagreb, Croatia. Spent time with the Eagles last year. It's a 6-2 Eastern Washington lead. Make it 6-5 as Dylan Darling knocks.
Dylan has shot pretty well from three, 38%.
Mark Wharton, the paint, can't get it to go. The shot tipped up and missed by Stockton on the run. Here comes Dylan Darling. It's a 7-0, Dylan, a 7-0. Made three-pointer this year. In the corner, here's Zonke. He tries to answer the three. It won't drop. Rebound comes to Darling. Dylan with the high dribble comes up the right side. Attacks, spin, scoop, score. Dylan Darling gets it back out. Swing it over to Isaiah Griffin. Griffin left wing, three ball short off the front, and Dylan Darling tracks down the loose basketball. Here's a right wing three, and that one will find the bottom of the rebound.
Williams finally missed a shot. He's human.
Here is Dylan Darling pinned up. Didn't realize, I heard the ruckus at halftime. You were mentioning John Stockton being here. Then I realized after you mentioned what it was, I had my headset on, couldn't hear. I didn't think I'd see him until maybe we got to Cheney in February. But glad that he's here tonight. Here's a three ball on the way and another MAC.
Well, the teams are starting to shoot the basketball with a little more consistency now here in the second half. They really struggled in the first half.
Eastern's up to 42% on the night. Idaho State at 41%. Here's Darling going to try to increase that with a driving layup.
He was looking for
night for Mason Williams. So the Bengal lead stays at a dozen. It had been 13 at 68-55, so I'll correct myself. That was the largest lead of the night. Darling, Bergen, wide left, gets it back to Dylan. Dylan up fake for a three, then drives, gets inside, banks it off the glass.
What a finish.
The bucket.
Yeah. Of the basketball and not allow them to turn defense into offense. For Portland State, they got a rebound. As aforementioned by you, Matt, this team is number one in the country in rebounding margin. In the conference, they've got plus 11.5 lead over
that Portland State was against Weber State Thursday night. Big foul despairing this game, but this poor foul shooting team unable to take advantage. That's two missed 1-and-1s by Trevon Mina. Well, he had been shooting 78% at the line in Big Sky play. Seventh turnover for Portland State. Idaho State with 5. And 5 3-edging points off turnovers for the Bengals so far. Portland State absolutely dominated the paint Thursday night against Weber State, but right now just a 2-point edge in the painted area, 14-12. Darling got Phipps off his feet, threw the bump, and got the bucket. That football game in Ogden against Weber State. According to Brad Bunger, the Idaho State Journal, and the color man on home broadcast for Idaho State, it's the first time they've accomplished that feat in 50 years. 1974-75 season. Last time they swept Montana schools in basketball and beat Weber State on the road in football. Dylan Darling with it.
Bengals, as you see, are 8-8 overall, 3-2 in Big Sky Conference. The Hornets are on a 4-game losing streak and want to use these 2 games at home to try and get back up in the standings. Oh, there's a Darling. You can see on TV his last name's Darling, and so are his shoes. Here's a drive by Darling to the basket. My Oh, the Hornets get the bucket from Diorama, but Deontay Williams took off and was going to score on the near side of the bucket. Oh, man. Darling gets it to Darling. Darling, that's what he can do, and he gets it to go. Darling blows by Ricketts, double clutch off the glass and good. Man. Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. Who needs 2 hands? Rick Berry shot it underhand. He shoots it with 1 hand. Don't foul on a 3. Drive to the bucket with 2 seconds to go, and the shot is good.
As Money hits his first field goal of the basketball game. A 3-pointer, make it 25-24. Dylan Darling says stays in possession. Pridgeon gets into the paint. Connor Hollenbeck does a nice job of defending him, and then Jake O'Neal with rebound number 8.
Jake O'Neal, a rebounding machine.
Here's Darling to the glass, lay it up on that mid-range jumper.
And we were talking to the Bobcat broadcaster, Keaton Galooly, before the game, and he said Walker is in much better physical shape this year than he was last season, and you can see he's in much better condition.
Bengals nearly lost that ball, but it was knocked into the backcourt by Akbankpolo. It was recovered by Idaho State's Isaiah Griffin. And now driving inside, Dylan Darling. Tough jumper over Brandon Walker. Right, missed by Walker. Rebound, Idaho State.
Montana State has taken 120 more three-point shots than their opponents this year. So you know you have to get out and guard on the perimeter.
Isaiah Griffin wanted to get it to O'Neal. Couldn't, so he drove. Now gives it up to Darling, back over wide on the right side, and now Darling gets it back in the corner far side. Little step back three, ball, bang. And that is, as we approach the 8:50 mark.
Both teams have played nothing but man-to-man defense here in the first half.
Darling pulls up his dribble, looking for some help. Garaki's on him. He finds Isaiah Griffin. Isaiah gives it back to Darling. 9 on the shot clock for the Bengals. Little crossover, drive to the bucket. It's good.
You got to follow the scouting report. Yeah. The Bengals know they can't let Tyler Patterson stand out there in the corner and shoot unmolested.
So that's a 6-0 run here for the Bobcats. And driving in, that's going to be now 98 times on the season, leads the conference. He's only a 54% free throw shooter. Yeah, so he gets there a lot, but he doesn't always cash in.
Yeah, well, he drained those two.
Made it look pretty good. Second one was a little heavy on the iron, but he got it to go. Here is a jumper in the paint. Dylan Darling. Here's Akbankpolo. Pulls up that jump shot. Ill-advised probably. And the Bengals will take the miss and the rebound to Jake O'Neal. Bengals can tie or take the lead. Dylan Darling gets all the way inside. Tough shot by Tomley, and Jake O'Neal wasn't buying it. And there's a steal. Vucinic made that spin move again, and this time Dylan Darling picked his pocket, drives it to the rack, lays it up in her three far side, and that's good for Miguel Tomley. And he holds up the three fingers with each hand to signal the fact that he's just hit a three and given Weber State their first lead of the game. 5-4 Wildcats. Darling, pull up, 18-footer straight away, rattles home.
And a long reach, able to just flip that ball over the top of the 6'7" Hollenbeck.
Dylan Darling working against Miguel Tomley. Pull up jumper 15 feet straight away.
And we saw Dylan Darling help out earlier, snuck in and stole the ball away, but no help on that play.
There's a high screen by Otten, freeing up Dylan Darling. Here's a step back three. Bang! Dylan Darling with a Daberco, 6'10" junior for Idaho State out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Also into the game, Jackson Green for the Bengals. Jackson has been a nice addition this year as well.
Junior college transfer.
10 seconds to shoot for Idaho State on the baseline. Losing the handle was Isaiah Griffin out on top. Here is Dylan Darling, drives, pulls up, hits the jumper. He's in double figures. Otten to Jackson Green. Jackson stops on top. A.J. Bergman, catch, shoot, three ball, rims out. Jake O'Neal, rebound. Darling, plenty of time, another three ball. Well, Dylan drives in. The Bengals don't control the rebound, and Blaze three cashes it in, and now it's an 11-point Wildcat lead. Here is Dylan Darling. Pull-up jumper good from the free throw line.
And that was the first time that's happened in many years for Idaho State.
And they'd like to make a run again at that Big Sky Conference tournament in Boise come March. Right now, they just want to make a run against the Wildcats. They're down 11. Kick it out on top to Isaiah Griffin. Now left side, over near the sideline. That's going to be Jackson Green. Back over here to Dylan Darling. Spots up. Three ball good. Dylan Darling gets inside. High off the glass. Man, two bodies on the floor for Idaho State, but Nigel Burris with his first field goal. And on the other end, Dylan Darling said for Chu. And I said, I think 16, 17 for, make it 15 for Vucinic. So 22 tonight. A third of the points come from the bigs, and Dylan Darling trying to do all he...
Tout. Downhill, underneath. Get it out. Otten, the shot blocker. Shows why he is one of the best shot blockers in the country right now. What a nice finish to the rim. Carson Tout drops it in.
And that was just a very patient offensive possession there for Northern Arizona.
Tout now in double-digit scoring. 11 points to go with 7 rebounds. And AU up 55-37, just under the 11-minute mark. On Findlay Toyota Court, inside of the J. Lawrence Walkup Sky Dome in Flagstaff, Arizona. This is Griffin. 5 to shoot. Darling's got to do it up a deep 3. Back to shoot. Out to McLaughlin. Ball fake. 3-shot. In and out. That would have been good. I mean, it would have counted. He got that off before the buzzer. 10-point lead NAU with just under 6.5 to go. Floater rolls in. Goal. Career at Central Connecticut State. Missed on that second free throw, though. It's 64-55. Under 5:30 to go in regulation here in Flagstaff. Bang! Here in the Sky Dome, certainly the NAU partisans believe so. Crossover again. Step back, fade away. Rolls off, no good. Loose ball. Oh! Coming up with it, Daberco. How big was that offensive get?
And it's huge because they have not been able to get on the offensive glass this entire second half until now.
Oh, this is so much fun. Loving this. Darling, spinning, finishing. Bengals take
back, and good to see for Idaho State, Dylan Darling
back on the floor, and they're going to press him full court. McBride, that's going to be a good matchup.
Darling behind his back, the redshirt sophomore out of Spokane, Washington. Out on top, A.J. Bergen with the handle. Now back over to Darling. Dylan picked up on a double team. Here's Blake Daberco. Tough handle on the pass. Gets it into the corner for Jackson Green.
Somebody's going to have to make a move.
Here's Dylan Darling. Spins to the paint. Off the glass and good.
Wow, what a tough shot by Dylan Darling.
Even at 7 apiece. Here is Darling. Step back. 3-ball. Back iron, no. Otten gets an offensive rebound for Idaho State. And they'll reset it with Darling out at the center circle with 9:40 to go in the game.
Those offensive rebounds are so deflating for a defense.
Especially if you play defense for a long time and get deep in the shot clock. Think you're going to get a stop. Here's Darling spinning, hanging, shooting, scoring.
That was a tough shot.
Darling and throws it down with style.
Forte is just so impressive on the ball. I mean, he just picked the pocket of a guy that does not turn it over.
2 turnovers on the board right now for Idaho State.
Here is Darling. South Dakota up 7, 12-5. Approaching 15 minutes to play first half. O'Neal inside out to Darling. Spots it up for 3 and knocks it in. Into the hands of Isaac Bruns. He's got some help, but it's poked away by Darling. Nice play defensively there, and he's going to take it all the way in, but it's swatted twice. Big fella Otten, and scores right through him.
And Otten checking his chicklets there because Forte put his shoulder right in the chest of the shot blocker.
Good ball movement here. Now Darling with it. Mid-range jumper, knocks it down. Puts it back up and through. He's into double figures. We've got 4 Coyotes in double figures now. Fens with 11. And the lead is back to 14 points. Here's Bergen. That's the other thing for Idaho State is they were in such a big hole, and we've seen them make a run here in the second half, Sean, but they've had to work so hard to even get back into a single-digit deficit scenario, and they didn't stay there for long. It's Darling. He's 5 of 12 from deep in that span before tonight, and now he throws it away here, and Darling goes the other way, driving it on Bruns and a chance at a...
In terms of just manpower, because all those substitutions in the first half paid dividends.
Darling, great play off the inbound to get
his first field goal, cuts the Bengal lead to 17. Here's Isaiah Griffin, his three-pointer short off the front iron, but the rebound to O'Neal, and the answer comes back. On the move, underneath, they give it to Tebow, had his shot blocked. Ball's on the baseline, picked up by Isaiah Griffin. Bengals push with Darling up the right side. He'll cross over, get underneath, scoop and score, Dylan Darling. Got Connor Ivey, Noah Grift, a new man in out there, Adam McEwen, number 23, Christian Wells, and Isaiah Wong. Here's Dylan Darling into the paint, 15-foot jump shot, nestles through the 10 seconds left in the half. Looks for a screen, and now a pick by Dylan Darling. And Dylan all the way, lay it up and in with a finger roll.
Run, protect the rim. And if you score, it's a bonus. And if you do score, it's going to be because of your effort in doing those 3 things.
Well, it hasn't gone unnoticed. He got a nice hand there as he exited the game. Darling trying to get away from Trent Perry for a moment, and he does. And he hits the 3. And drives it all the way in.
UCLA now stringing together some stops and have blown this thing open. Just thinking about Stefanovic, guy. He played the most minutes on the team last year. He's not, when Dylan Andrews is healthy, he's not even starting. And still has a...
And they're not playing each other yet.
No.
UCLA shooting almost 59% in this game.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying at halftime, guy. Like, now the box score looks indicative of what the score is.
At halftime, it was a 14-point game.
Yeah, of 26 now, and you look at the box score, you're like, okay, yeah, that looks right.
They've given up, what, 19 points in this second half. Darling may be getting going.
Seriously.
All right, something to watch for.
Yeah. Guy Haberman finishing the game by himself.
Dylan Darling is
incredibly well. He has a high court IQ. He brings up the ball, and he will be pivotal this season for the Titans on both sides of the court. Back into the action we go. Here is A.J. Bergen, one of the lone 4-year players on this Idaho State team, another team that faces quite a bit of turnover year to year. Dylan Darling, speaking up from Washington State. Ball swung to the corner. Green penetrates. Back out. Darling 3. Cans it. Idaho's sophomore DeLuna. Griffin inside. Through DeLuna's defense. Can't hit the floater. Rebound by Hollenbeck. Reset to Darling. Titans lead by 1 here. Darling hangs and hits. Nice move. They led Oregon State by 8 into the second half. There's Darling taking it away from KP.
That's
and hitting the layup.
That was the end.
Bryant?
Sorry.
You're good.
I let it go. I dropped the point. There's our guy. Bynum, Davis Bynum. Active all over the field. All over the field. I'm still in football mode. All over the court. Going out there, throwing down dunks. That's his second 3 of the game. Love to see this from the freshman.
Darling thought about it. By the way, there's a very good chance that Bryant...
All right. There it is.
5 seconds to go.
You just couldn't let me have any joy.
Darling to try and salvage something.
Underneath, the layup is there. Truitt now with 9 for San Diego. It's 41-28. O'Neal. Deep three for Darling, and that one will fall. Hollenbeck, great pass for Darling underneath. Layup is good with a foul. Go under 4 minutes remaining. That one's stolen away. Down the floor for Darling, who gets the layup.
And it will be Dylan Darling to play it in.
Chapman on the foul for Southern Oregon.
Lob pass out on top, hauled in by Connor Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck now to Darling. Great point guard, Dylan Darling. Folks are going to really enjoy him here in Pocatello, and he squares up. That will come over the course of the season, and as he gets used to kind of the tempo and actually getting back playing games. Being a redshirt's tough. Here's Dylan Darling in transition. Shot good. And then Reichel just took it all the way in, kissed it off the glass from the right side.
Ran into Brown, but there was no call either way.
That's now 11 points on the night for Gabe Reichel, and another drive and a score by
for USC. Isaiah Griffin takes on Abbo. Here's Darling. Step back over Slacker. Knocks it already there. 7 minutes to go in the first half. USC looking to get off to a 2-0 start. Darling down the left side of the lane is layup. Crawl 0 of 6 from long range in this first half. And Idaho State can make it a one-possession game with a basket here. Darling dancing, turns, fades, got it again. Inside and scores.
Going at a very strong start to the game, has quieted down a little bit, and maybe those 2 points will start to heat him up.
Darling to the rim, tough.
These two giant guards for USC. It's a little bit smaller.
Problem is USC has had trouble staying in front of him. But he is certainly lacking in height. Hollenbeck is in. Gets it to Otten, who gives to Darling. Griffin has it on the wing. Darling down the left alley to the rim. Lays it in. What a bucket. Idaho State needs a basket, and quickly. On the floor. Darling to the rim. Lays it up and in with 4.5.
Find Quaintance again. Unselfish play. Nunez wide open. Spot up triple will not go. It was a nice pass. Down low by Quaintance. Great look for Nunez.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Jaden moving the ball like that. We know he has that IQ.
Quietly, Idaho State still in this game, despite shooting just 24% from the floor and 4 of 23 from three-point range. 3 to shoot here. Darling splits a double team and another block, but it will be a goal set.